Make the rest of the analysts go missing. In the UFL, how them amateurs all limping. We so sick with the blitzing. Break down defense quicker than a weak immune system. Rose G, my boys are real. Pancaked over the middle. Yeah, I hopped on the field. Who wanna get hurt now? Cause you can make it past the line of scrimmage, but you still gonna be the first down. With my team submerging, you got a better chance making a 4th and 40-yard conversion. Explosion on the team, UFL was the lead. J Mike close behind the scene.
Peoples, what's going on? Welcome to Real Tough Talk Week 4 in the UFL season. I'm Stephen J.
And I'm Ghost.
We got a lot of crazy games going on. A lot of teams showing if they go into the headline, the beginning of the standing in the front of the line in the playoff race. While other teams are starting to show who they really are. If they were really, a definite favorite to go to the playoffs or fable, I would say. You know what I mean? So I guess we'll find out with the first game today. Evo versus replacements. Evo gets their quarterback back. Junie, their main quarterback, is back. I heard he was injured, wasn't 100%. Slick was holding down the ship. Did a pretty good job. Team was 2-1. But now they get their main quarterback, Junie, back. I think this guy's a lift to the team, and now Slick can go to receiver, give him another weapon.
I feel like now they can show who they really are. They show a part of who they are in terms of adjusting to whenever someone gets hurt. But now it's pretty much their full team now. Now they're out to get people. Now they're out to get the other teams and show that they can beat anybody.
Replacements come in with the little situation going in through with Hood and D-Boy. 1 and 2. Not really the strong start that they hope for, but they hope to get back on track. Do you think this is going to be a distraction, the Hood and D-Boy situation?
I don't think so, because even with the distractions that they had, I think they still played well together when they played. I think that a lot of games that they lost a couple of close games. So I feel like they played well. They just need to step it up a little bit. That's all I can say.
Well, I guess we'll jump right into the game, let you know what happened. Beginning of the game, Evo gets stopped, unable to really move the ball. Junie looked a little rusty, but replacements wasn't able to capitalize, going 4 and out, having to give the ball back to Evo. Now Junie gets back in the game, second possession, and he gets sacked from this blitz. I don't think he's used to the blitz now. He has to get more comfortable with it, and it seems like he was off edge with this. It was a new type of system for him.
I feel like, of course, when you first play in a league where, the blitz is actually heavily implemented like this league, I feel like it's something to get used to. It's something to learn how to work around, and it's something that I feel like he probably will pick up eventually.
Well, that was Steve-O with the blitz. In the next series, Junie's able to get the rhythm, what he's used to, reason why he's the star of this team, and he throws a touchdown pass to the right corner to Slick. So the starter finds the backup quarterback for the touchdown in the right corner. Great touchdown throw by Junie.
And maybe this is the lineup that they needed all along. Maybe Slick needed to be out there as a receiver rather than getting pressure to lead the team as a quarterback. Now he could float around on the offense and find open slots in the end zone and make big plays.
Now replacements get the ball back for the second time, and Hood is sacked to turn over the ball. This team hasn't really been comfortable. That one even looked like, I think that was Loco with the sack. They're not looking comfortable right now. Hood is not looking like his mobile self. I don't understand what made him get caught by this blitz.
It looks like he saw something, but then the defender covered wherever direction he was looking at, and it looked like after that he had no options and he didn't know what to do, and he just got caught on that sack.
Well, Junie gets the ball, now he's moving down the field, and he throws an interception to Tess. Bad throw by Junie, great play by Tess. Tess been making plays all season. Terrible throw by Junie.
I mean, that wasn't a good look on that one. Tess saw the ball the whole way, and he was able to make a play on it. I feel like Tess is one of their big players on their team. I think he's been doing on both sides as a quarterback as well as playing on defense, so he's a player that you need to look out for.
Game goes into halftime 6-0. Started a little slow. I think Eagle have to focus on getting Junie in better rhythm, and I think Hood needs to find plays. And D-Boy was missing the first half. Didn't really show us anything.
I feel like that he's a person that a lot of people pay attention to. So D-Boy couldn't really get his rhythm going. He couldn't get to make any big plays because they already see him as their big player. So they're looking at him, they're watching him wherever he's going, and it's making it hard for D-Boy.
Second half, replacements get the ball. Hood with the deep pass, touchdown to Test. That's the plays that Hood needs to make in order to get this team back on track. Great throw by Hood.
And this is again an issue. This is again a situation where the quarterback is throwing to the quarterback who was the backup before the quarterback has come into play. So I feel like this is the type of vibe that they need. This is the type of setup that they need. Test goes to receiver. Now he's able to make plays on the offense, and Hood being their star quarterback able to find him out there.
Well, right back at him. Evo gets the ball, and they're able to score after a few plays down the field. They're able to score in the back of the end zone for the touchdown. This is what Junior's here to do. Score points. Great throw by Junior in the back of the end zone with the extra point. That gives him a 13-6 lead.
I mean, now they're starting to get this stride. They're starting to feel each other out there. Junior's starting to get comfortable in the pocket. He's starting to make his plays. He's starting to drive down the field, and I think this is trouble for replacements.
Now, right back at him. Replacements get the ball. Hood moves the ball with this nice throw in the middle of the field. That's the throws that Hood can make. This guy has energy, and he can make any throw to me on the field. Great throw by Hood in the middle. Then he's able to find Rel for the touchdown pass, but they're unable to get the extra point. So now they're down 13-12. But still, back to that touchdown pass. Great throw by Hood to find Rel in the end zone.
I feel like they're starting, again, both sides are starting to get their stride on offense. They're starting to make plays, they're starting to come together, and they're starting to score points on the board.
Junior gets the ball back. He throws a nice pass to the right corner, and then Hood gets a flag for a high tag, hands to the face. You got to calm your emotion down. You got to watch your tag. Do you think that was intentional? Did you think that Hood maybe had too much energy?
I feel like there may have been some of that. I don't think it was directly intentional. I just feel like, when you see a play happen right in front of you and you can't do anything about it, you get frustrated. So I feel like that kind of made him, not actually react to the play that was in front of him when he was making the tag, and eventually it ended up being high. So
that really hurt them on that drive for that tag. Then Judy's able to move the ball up into the end zone and throw a touchdown pass to number 4 to give them an 18-12 lead. That high tag, I think, hurt them because a personal foul moved them up and put Judy into the position to score another touchdown.
I feel like this is something that hurts the defense as well. Of course, flags always hurt the defense, but on this one, it was something that could have been avoided. Unfortunately, it wasn't, and it helped them move down the field eventually to score.
Hood trying to get the team back into the game. They're down 18-12. After a few plays, moving the ball, he overthrows Rel, looking for Rel for the second touchdown pass. Overthrows Rel, and he's picked off by Michael. Bad throw by Hood to end the game. Evil winning 18-12. That had to kill Hood. Now, maybe is that the plays that D-Boy is talking about? First of all, D-Boy was missing this game. Didn't really make any plays, but is that the thing that D-Boy's talking about? With Hood not really so focused on his game with the replacements as he is in another league environment.
I mean, it's hard to say because a lot of games that they lost, I couldn't necessarily put it on Hood saying it was his fault. This is one time where he actually overthrew and miscalculated where the receiver was going, and he overthrown him, and that's what led to the interception. Of course, that hurts, but I personally couldn't say that that's the reason why he's not playing efficiently, because it looked like he had his stride going into the game until that last play at the end of the game. So it's hard to judge at this point.
Well, what happens now is Evo moves to 3-1, tied for second place with them Gettas. Everybody's talking about them Gettas, who's 3-1. Everybody talk about Carver, who's 4-0. But Evo's 3-1. They're tied for second place. Everybody's sleeping on this team. You gotta understand that Evo's a team to be reckoned with. They got their starting quarterback now. They're able to move Slick to offense as a receiver. I think they're going to surprise a lot of people later on in the season.
And I feel like that's the whole point. Sometimes you like to go under the radar because it gives you it gives you a better way to surprise teams, to make them underestimate you, and it lets you take wins from underneath these teams' noses. So I feel like they prefer to be under the radar at this point.
Now replacements go to 1-3. They're tied for the last spot in the playoffs in their division. Do you go? I mean, Hood threw pretty well. 2 touchdown pass, interception. He was sacked twice. Do do you pull the trigger and let Test start, or is Hood your starter? I mean, to me, Hood is my guy, but if they can't get that situation with him and D-Boy, I think you got to go to Test.
I mean, Test, in all honesty, if I looked at Test when he played well as well, but I feel like they were still coming up short on a lot of games anyway. So I feel like regardless of what quarterback you put in the game, I feel like it's going to be the same issue. At certain points, there's certain inconsistencies that hurt the team at the end of the day. Certain times where they can't move the ball, they miss opportunities. And that's something I feel like they need to pull together and actually correct. And I feel like they have time. They're a good team. I feel like they're a team that can win. They're another team that can go under the radar and get a couple of wins. So I feel like it's still early, so I feel like they have a chance to fix everything.
I mean, they're definitely in a winnable division. You know, you got underrated 1-3, but so hard 1-3, now replaces 1-3. I mean, there's a lot you can do to get that last playoff spot. I think they gotta need to focus. They need to get D-Boy and Hood on the same page if this team wants to make the playoff run, because there's only 6 more games left in the season. So I guess we're gonna see what happens with this team next week. Next up, we got House Gang versus the Browns. House Gang been going through a lot of problems. They can't score points. They got arguably the best defense in the league. That means up there better than Carver. That means up there better than YMM. They got the best defense, better than the Browns. Best defense to me in this league. But they can't score points.
And even though you have the best defense, they always say that defense wins championships and other. But you have to have a tangible offense that can actually put points on the board. You gotta have both sides. If you don't have an offense that can score, you cannot go nowhere. All you can do is hold them off to score, hold off the other opposing offense to score. Eventually, they're gonna score points, and you're not going anywhere.
House Gang also added to their defense. They finally got guys healthy. J-Star, who helped them win the championship, who helped Swagger win the championship with Rose G's, and Mookie, who helped them win the championship with Rose G's. Those are 2 main cards of the Rose G defense that they put on House Gang defense. That's going to only make this defense stronger, but the offense still on the same level. They faced the Browns today, who the Browns didn't have the candidate for MVP, Puka, the most dangerous player in this league this season. They didn't have him, so this is a game that you figure the House Game will have to try to steal away from the Browns. It would seem that they would try to steal this game away. Unfortunately, it don't seem like they got the memo.
I mean, this was a big game for them to win. This was actually one of the biggest upsets of the week waiting to happen. I feel like this was a chance the House Gang could have took the win right from the Browns' hands, but we have to see if they can actually accomplish that.
Well, we're going to start right away. Mike throws an interception off of a tip to Darnell. Mike just doesn't seem consistent. Not able to make throws, not able to make plays. It just seems like he's not able to do the job. And you got Rudy on the sideline still waiting. I think it's a quarterback controversy going on. I think that this team wants to sit Mike down, but it's Mike's team. So how do you tell a guy who runs the team, you're not doing the job as a quarterback? His numbers are not that great, and his team has scored 20 points in 4 games. Unbelievable.
I mean, at this point, you do not want to make this the trademark of your season. You do not want to make this the whole point of your season, like struggling on offense, great defense. You do not want to have this drag along, so they have to do something now. If the offense is not working at this point, you got to make changes. It's unavoidable.
Well, House Gang gets the ball on the interception. After 2 plays, the Browns have the ball. Pig with a great sack on the blitz. Pig is fighting for that comeback player of the year. But not only that, I think he can be a defensive player of the year, Ken.
I think so. I feel like not only has he made great plays himself, but he's actually made them where it counted. And this is plays they need to make their defense. That's one of the core points of their defense that made their defense the best in the league. Right. He was one of the main contributors, and I feel like he deserves credit for that.
Browns get stopped. House Gang gets another possession back. Number 5 on this team drops the ball. I seen him drop 2 passes last week. Now he drops a pass this week. They need to get him off the offense. There's no time to sit down and say, well, you're my friend, we're cool, I'm going to let you play. No. This guy does not, no shape or form, help this offense that is already struggling. So why would you sit there and put another person who's going to burden the offense when the offense is already struggling? There's no time for friends here.
I mean, I feel like at this point, if you're trying to help your team win, then you got to make every sacrifice that you have to make in order to get your team to win. And I feel if it's the quarterback pulling somebody off that he doesn't want to, or if it's the receiver stepping off to let somebody else in, they have other guys on the sideline that's not getting playing time. You got to make changes to see what works. And right now, I don't see that happening.
House gang goes 4 and out, and then they get Browns get the ball back. Great defense by the Browns. If you look right here, great knockdown by Swag. He made the All-Star team last year. He was kind of having a quiet season. He stepped up this game. This was a great play by Swag.
I mean, at the end of the day, it's not necessarily about who makes the All-Star game, who gets the credit, who wants to get their shine. I feel like Swag at this point, he wants that championship. He wants to be under the lights on 161, and I feel like right now he feels this is the time to get it done, and that's why he's out there doing his best and making this defense the best that they can be.
Another play after that, Pig with the blitz, and he gets the sack. His second sack of the game. Pig is on fire. He's stepping up against a strong Browns team.
And I feel like this is accomplishment because this is something that's almost impossible to do. Past Pop, one of the best blockers in the league, and I feel like Pig getting past him is something being said about Pig. He's here to make plays. It doesn't matter who you put in front of him, he's gonna get what he needs to do done.
Browns will have to punt. Mike Santos gets the ball back on his 4th possession, and he throws another interception. This one, a nut right here. He had Choo-Choo wide open on the other side. Break it down for me. What happened on this play right here?
I feel, again, we speak about Mike Santos' main core problem. He does not look at the whole field. I mean, if you look at this play, you can see that he's only looking to one receiver throughout the play, and he ends up forcing it to that receiver, and it ends up being intercepted. I mean, you gotta give your other receivers a chance. You gotta look at the both sides of the field. That's the whole point of you lining them up. Why send them on the other side of the field if you're not gonna look at them? You're telegraphing where you're looking, the defense is gonna follow, and it's going the other way.
Well, you got a zip going into the halftime. Great game so far by House Gang. Browns offense already showed why Puka is the best player in this league. No points for the first time in the first half of this team. Puka is the MVP of this team. You see it today. They cannot move the ball. They can't do the things they like to do without him. They have no running game without him. That's all. It puts more pressure on Reggie, and he didn't look happy all day. On the other side, House Gang has to make a decision. Swagger is not really the coach of this team, but he has coaching experience. He needs to step up and say, listen, we have an opportunity to win a championship. And he needs to tell, I was told that, there were talks on the sideline after, maybe some people griping that Mike Santos needs to sit down, give Rudy a chance to throw. They also have J-Star who can throw. Both of them guys are a better option right now than Mike Santos. He has not been doing the job, and I think they got to step it up. Second half was pretty much the same. But Reggie's able to find a backup quarterback, JR, for the touchdown. Great throw by Reggie. Defense can only hold for so long. This series, they attacked House Gang quick.
I mean, eventually the defense is going to get worried. They're going to get tired. They've been on the field a long time. And eventually they're going to open up and they're going to have gaps where the offense can expose. And this is exactly what happened. They were able to drive. Reggie was eventually able to find JR in the end zone. And I feel like at this point, this is just their defense being tired. You got to do something. The offense has to help them out. And this hasn't been happening.
Well, they get the ball back. Mike throws a pass to Smoke. Smoke drops the ball. We got on Mike. Smoke has to make that catch. Got to help Mike out. He's struggling. He's trying to build confidence. And these drops, that's 2 drops we already talked about, does not help their quarterback. You got to take Smoke got to take that one. That's on him.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like these are plays that you can't afford to miss. But at the end of the day, at certain points, yes, there's going to be guys that drop passes. It's going to happen. But if your quarterback is throwing it to the other team at the same point, what difference does it make? I mean, how many passes are they going to have to catch in order to move the ball if the quarterback is throwing it to the other team? What's going to happen? Something needs to happen now because their offense does not look good in a whole.
Well, they get stopped on that drive. Browns get the ball. Reggie throws a deep pass to Darnell, but it was caught out of bounds, and that was going to be a turnover on the Browns. Bad throw by Reggie. Reggie tends to let the ball loft on him. Had Darnell wide open on a cut. I believe he beat J-Star. Got the ball downfield. Was unable to make the catch. turnover. But House Gang cannot move the ball in offense once again. Ended up having to punt the ball back to the Browns. Same inconsistency all day. You would think that they will pull the trigger, but I guess they're going to let the captain sink with the ship and leave Mike in, but they end up punting on that series.
I mean, this becomes tiresome for anybody who watches this game, for the defense who's killing themselves out there. The offense needs to pick up. They need to help out their defense. At this point, it's all float or sink at this point, and they have to make their decision now.
Well, Pig once again able to get through the Browns. With the Browns get the ball, Pig is able to get through Pop once again to blitz Reggie and get another sack. Pig's third sack of the day. Pig had 7 tackles and 3 sacks. This guy was on fire. Still not 100% yet, but I think he's about 85, 90.
But I feel like at this point, he has his stride. He knows where he's going. It's not that he's just playing 100%. He's playing smart. He knows exactly where to go. He knows that he cannot outpower Pop. So he knows how to do the swim move, get around him, force Reggie to move into a position where he can make that tag, and that's exactly what happened. Great play by Pig. He deserves the game ball for their defense. I believe that he needs to be talked about more, and he's definitely up there for Defensive Player of the Year.
Definitely. Mike is able to find his favorite receiver, JP. JP had 8 catches this game. You know, Mike did not go to him at all last week. This same week he went 8 times, but I think we saw more of a Jay Cutler, Brandon Marshall type game. A lot of balls he forced to JP. A lot of plays JP was double covered. Mike forced it. When he had JP able to get open last week against a smaller team, he didn't throw it. Against a more aggressive physical defense on the Browns, he forced a lot of passes to him. I think that he kind of got away from the rest of the team, only went to JP. That's why JP had 8 catches and nobody else had more than 3.
I mean, at this point, it's all about who makes Mike Santos comfortable. And I feel like JP makes him comfortable because he makes those catches. He doesn't drop passes. But at the same time, this does not help your team because if you can't score, it doesn't matter. You can give them passes for 5 yards, for 10 yards here, but it's not helping you move the ball. If this guy is further down the field and he's open, you gotta make that throw. Whether they drop it 1,000,000 times or whether they catch it 1,000,000 times, you have to be able to make that chance. You have to be brave and take those passes, make those passes, and he's not doing it.
Well, we talked about this guy on defense. Now he makes a big, great catch on the sideline for the first down. Great play by Pig. He also had 3 catches on offense. Great catch. That was all Pig. Not Mike, all Pig with a great catch.
I mean, at the end of this, at this point, it seems like Pig wanted to give them a jump on offense because he's been doing so well on defense. He's trying to do it on both sides. He really wants to win this game, and he's trying his best, and he's doing what he can.
Well, right now that gives him the first down. Remember, right now it's 6-0. Browns are up. This is House Gang's last time to drive, and they can have a walk-off touchdown extra point like they did to the Generals. Unfortunately, with this throw, Mike makes a bad throw. Who the heck was this guy throwing to? Who? I don't understand what he saw.
I mean, I'm pretty much speechless at this point. I look at the play as many times as I possibly can, and it seems like it doesn't necessarily matter. It looks like he's throwing it to the other team. It's like he gave up at this point. It's like, hey, I give up. I surrender. I'm throwing in the white flag. Here, take the ball. I'm ready to go home.
Well, he ends the game with a last throw to JP, misses him too high. That's going to end the game 6-0. Once again, this House Gang team cannot score points.
It's sad.
6-0.
But you know what? You making that slip up is telling. It's telling because it's their defense. It feels like Rose G's again. As dominant as their defense has been, as stingy as this defense has been, they don't have their offense. That's all that they need. They don't have it. And at this point, it didn't help them win this game. This is a game that they could have won. What happened?
Let me go over to you right now. House Gang is 1-3. They scored 7 points versus ILD. They scored 7 points against YMM. They scored 6 points versus the Generals, and they scored no points versus the Browns. This team has scored 20 points approximately, in 4 games. So with all that being said, this team has to learn to put up points. And I think the way you do that is you have to sit down Mike Santos. It's nothing against him, but when you're trying to win games, you can't worry about sparing anybody's feelings. They're in a winnable division. They can turn it around and get back into it, but you can't talk about we're the best team in the league when you're 1-3.
Well, it says on their shirts, loyalty over royalty. That means, you know, family over who's the best on their team or whatever. But at the same time, if it is loyalty over royalty, that means that you have to make the sacrifice for your team to win. If you're doing this for your team, if the best thing that you can do is sit down, then that's all you can do. If that means that the team is going to move forward and actually win games, there's nothing else to say.
We're going to see what happens, because I even heard a rumor that Rudy doesn't even want to throw. And I think Rudy don't want the responsibility of throwing. Now that he see Mike Santos can't get the job done, he don't want the responsibility of doing it. And I have to question him, because who don't want the ball? Who don't want to be the playmaker? You want to be a receiver, that's the easy part. You just got to catch the ball. But to be a quarterback, which is your natural position, I don't understand why you don't want to be the second man up. I think he don't want the responsibility. I think this team got issues. They got guys on the sideline that can play, that's not playing. They got guys in the game who should be out there. Choo shouldn't be out there yet. He's still learning. Anthony should be out there. Anthony's your slot guy. He's not your superstar. He's a role player. He should be out there helping out your offense. Eric, another role player, should be out there more. He has experience. These are the players. These other guys that are dropping the ball, number 5 who dropped the ball, these guys shouldn't be out there until the team has a lead and you're capable of winning the game. So we can sit here and be here on this all day, this topic, but bottom line is House Gang is in trouble. They need to make a difficult decision and decide who's going to be their go-to. Are they worrying about feelings or are they worrying about a championship? I guess we're going to see next week.
This is Ghost. I'm here with Swag. They had a tough game. They lost 6-0. So my question to you is this a time to make adjustments on your offense?
To be totally honest with you, we play and win as a team. We're family first before anything else. If you look at the shirt, it says loyalty over royalty. That means something. You understand what I'm saying? We're playing with Mike. We're going to tough it out. But adjustments will be made. At the end of the day, you know what I mean? I'm going to be honest with you, I'm real confident. I haven't seen a defense out here like ours at all. And the whole Reggie, the 6 points, that's something for me to talk about. So yeah, you're going to see a change. You're going to see a change. I'm not going to tell you what it is or when it's going to happen, but you're going to see a change. And guarantee, everybody should fear us. Okay? Everybody. Whoever you are, Chuck included, I love you, but you should fear us too.
Okay, getting Swag on the record from House Gang, and I'll see you next week.
Yes, sir. No question.
Next up, we got Envy versus Ball So Hard. Envy's right now sitting at the head of the table. They lost to Carver, but they looking decent so far. But I'm hearing that organization's having problems with Fred. Last week they benched Fred the first half because he came late. This game, Fred didn't even show up. Now, you don't have Yomi. He's out for the year, torn ACL. You don't have Hood, left the team on replacements. Who's your quarterback if you don't have Fred? The team has issues, and I think that game, Orlando ego got caught up in it, and now this team has a lot of problems.
I mean, I feel like at the end of the day, I mean, if Fred was sure that he was a quarterback, then he was supposed to make sure he was there for this game. So I feel
you have playoffs, man. What do you want him to do? If you have a playoffs in another league, which one is more important? Playoffs or regular season? You went through the same thing with you was telling me about Hood. It's a playoff game. Come on.
Yeah, but again, it's all about who matters to you more at certain points. It's like, this is a championship team as well. I mean, you got to make a decision. Who are you going to ride with? If
they didn't ride with him? Did they ride with him? They didn't ride with him. I believe Yomi was a starter on this team. So they didn't ride with him. He's playing for a team right now in another league that he can win a championship when he's a starter. The question is, would Fred be the starter if Yomi was 100%? You tell me that.
So then I feel, should they even have him on the roster anymore?
He wasn't here today.
So then he's not an MV quarterback then. You might as well just cut him and let him go now. I mean, he's not there. What's the point? He's not helping you by not being there. So what's the point of even having him on your paper?
The point is, now Orlando got to earn that money as a coach. Joey got to earn that money as assistant coach, and they got to fix this problem. Everybody wants to be a coach. Everybody wants to talk about a Pams. Everybody wants to talk about a Caesar. Everybody wants to talk about a Jingo. But they're the heads of their team and they deal with these situations. Can MV do that? You won a championship because you played a younger YMM team that wasn't experienced. You won a championship because Matrix beat Puka on a bomb. Did you win a championship for coaching? I don't know. It's hard to say because look at the issues that they're going through. They couldn't keep Hood. They couldn't have, they bench Orlando in the first half when you have opportunity to beat Carver, and now your quarterback don't show up. What's going on? Who's your leader? It's easy to say I'm a coach, but it's harder to prove that you're a coach. So these guys need to step their game up and decide who's the Chiefs and who's the Indians, or this team will fall apart. That's the issue. We're going to jump right to the game right now. And we start out with MV getting stopped. They got a new quarterback this week. It's Angel. And he doesn't look like no Fred. They get stopped. But Ball So Hard, who's also going through their own problems. They're going through Malcolm. They're going through Crazy. Now I heard Crazy, just at the deadline, was able to combine and play with Animal Planet now. So we hearing the rumor on that. We'll have to get more insight on that. But Ball So Hard don't know what they do. They get stopped. Now MV gets the ball back, and Angel makes a nice run, but he gets stopped just short of the end zone. What happened here? He looks a little more mobile than Fred.
I mean, he looks like he would take off if he has to. He did there. Unfortunately, he came up short to the end zone. He wasn't able to make anything happen. But it's the second drive of the game, so who knows what will happen later on.
Well, Ball So Hard got a new quarterback. It's not Malcolm. Crazy's playing defense and offense, so he's not throwing. And you see the quarterback throws the ball away. He has Crazy wide open in the middle. I guess Crazy getting to see what it looks like on the other side when you a receiver open and the quarterback don't find you.
I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, that play didn't necessarily look that great as a whole. I mean, if you look in the middle, Crazy is open in the middle, but he didn't shoot towards the middle. He kept going across the field, and he runs right into the defender. So you can't expect a quarterback to throw the ball by the time he sees you at the defender. But at the same time, right at the slant, you were supposed to throw him the ball. So he didn't see him.
And V gets the ball back. Quarterback throws an interception to Ali. Bad throw by the quarterback. He's definitely not a threat. But I guess this is what they got, so they got to go with it.
I mean, what else can you do? You don't have your star quarterback there. You have to put somebody in to fill in the gap, and it's not working so far.
Ball So Hard can't move the ball. They'll eventually have to punt a few plays later. And V quarterback gets the ball. Angel gets the ball. Throws a nice pass to Nomar. Great pass. Pass their top defender, Todd. Great play. And I feel they're saying Nomar has to step in for Yomi. Nomar is Yomi's brother. So he has to step up and make plays. It's okay to talk about how good you are. It's okay to be in video smiling. But if you're on this field and you want to be the next man up online, you got to make plays, and he made plays right here.
I mean, that's what they need from him. They need to fill, a person that will fill that void that Yomi left on their offense. And maybe Nomar is that guy. Well, it's only time will tell.
MV gets the ball. They're still on the same drive. 2 plays later, quarterback throws a pass to number 21. Touchdown. I think that was either Davi or Matrix. Wasn't really sure.
I think it was Davi.
I think it was Davi that made the catch.
Yes.
But the question was, did the ball hit the ground? We've been hearing refs making a lot of mistakes. Did the ball hit the ground?
I mean, at this point, it was at a bad angle when the footage was shot. It wasn't an angle where I could see anything, so it's kind of hard to see. The refs made a call and they called it a touchdown.
Right now, Ball So Hard get the ball back. Right now, Envy got an 8-0 lead. Ball So Hard gets the ball back. The quarterback throws a pass to number 43, Pedro. Pedro tries to signal a timeout, but the refs say he drops the ball and it kills the drive, makes it go into halftime. Did he get the timeout out?
I mean, at the end of the day, you're the player making the play on the field. The coach is supposed to be calling timeout. Why are you calling timeout when you're still trying to get a grasp of the ball? So the refs called it that he never had possession of the ball because he let go of the ball to call timeout. That's not a smart move to make when you're the receiver and you're calling timeout. That's why they called it an incomplete pass. You have coaches for that.
That goes at 8-0 into the halftime. Second half, Ball So Hard gets the ball starts off the same way they ended the series. Not able to move. The quarterback misses Tracy on a deep pass. One thing about Crazy, he can also play receiver, and the quarterback missed him here. You can't miss plays like this.
I mean, this is something that's been going on for the past few games. Struggling offense. You know, they're not looking good. They need to really do something to get some type of spark, because it's not working.
Ball so hard, quarterback on the next play will roll out from the blitz, throw the ball away, miss the receiver again. They'll go 4 now, unfortunately. MV gets the ball back. Once again, Angel showed he cannot move the ball. This team needs Fred. If this is your quarterback, Ball so hard is a bad team. We're going to call a spade a spade. They're a bad team. No Fred against these other teams, they're going to have a problem. And you can see right here, they can't move the ball. They go 4 now.
I mean, at the end, even with Fred, at certain points, they had certain plays that they were supposed to make that they did it. They weren't perfect on their offense, but they made things happen. Right now, it doesn't look good.
Then, Ball so hard gets the ball back. Ty drops a pass, and the very next play, 2 plays later, after Ty drops the pass, Lou drops the pass. You gotta help these guys out. And I already said Ty is a guy who can go to the next level, but he's not making plays. He can't be up there talk to like you can't say he's a Rico or a Mimi or a Bishop or guys that make big plays, Matrix, because he doesn't make plays. He's a good receiver, he has speed, but he got to step his game up. Yes, your team is not good, but you should show what you bring to the table. And dropping a pass like that does not help your credibility.
I mean, I feel like he's one person that his talent falls with the team. Like, the team is struggling, so he's gonna struggle as well. As long as his team struggles, he's gonna struggle. And I think that he needs to get out of that mentality. He needs to shine in order for his team to actually pick up on that. So I feel he needs to take the helm and he needs to make plays for his team.
Ball so hard gets stopped, and V gets the ball. They get a stop. They get stopped, but they was able to run the clock. Ball so hard gets the ball back one more time. Crazy gets the ball. He's back in at quarterback. He overthrows Pedro. Bad throw by Crazy, which we've been seeing him make bad throws all season. Not like last year. He looked more efficient last year. This year does not look like the Crazy of last season. 2 plays later, the team ends up punting the ball, misreading the clock, 8-zip, you lose the game, 8-zip, you down. Why the heck will you punt this ball? Makes no sense. And another thing we didn't hear no Julius. Where is Julius? What's going on with him? What's going on with this powerhouse team that you were supposed to be putting together? Haven't looked well since the season started. This team has problems.
I mean, Julian was there, but obviously nothing changed. At the end of the day, they're still the struggling team that they were last year. I haven't seen any change as well. I feel like, amalgamating with some of the Brick Squad guys didn't make them better at all. I feel like it made them worse because they don't have that team connection. You see that they don't normally play together often. They're not on the same vibe. They're not on the same level. So it's just a mess right now. I mean, I feel like this hurts them more than helps them.
Unfortunately, MV would lose this. Unfortunately, Ball so hard would lose this game 8-0 to MV. And right now, the defending champs are in right now. They're 3-1. But to me, they're in a Bermuda Triangle. They're trapped. They don't know what they're going to do. I'm hearing sources tell me that the team was unhappy. Few players that didn't want to go on record saying it, but they seem unwell with Fred not being there. A lot of players didn't know he wasn't going to show up. A lot of players wondering what's going on. I heard MV still lost the championship in LES after this game. What's going on with this team? It seems like Fred really does not want to be there. And I think you could be seeing the beginning of the end of MV. The problem is it seems 3-1. You know, you're second place in your division, but you're going through problems. What is going on?
Well, is it the fact that they had 3 teams come together? Is it too many egos in one space? Is it time for all these 3 teams to break back up and to become their 3 individual teams? You see, Hood and D-Boy left and took their replacements.
But they're going through their problems.
Yes, so I feel like they carried their problems with them. It just doesn't look good out there. I feel a championship would make a team unite and want to defend and become stronger. And obviously, that's not what happened.
Well, we're going to have to see what happens with this team next week. They got a lot of problems. Hopefully, they can fix it up going into next week. I don't think so. I definitely don't pick this team to repeat as title winners. You can sit down and use my criticism as motivation, but I'm gonna call a spade a spade. If you're having in-house problems and you barely beating a team like Ball So Hard, what happens when you face the big teams? I guess we're gonna have to see next week. Next up, the big one. Carver Mobb. Them Gettas. 3-0. 3-0. Battling for the division lead. I was hyped to see this game. I picked Carver to win, but I think them Gettas are a team to be reckoned with. They're showing what they can do. People didn't take them Gettas that serious this season. Nobody talked about them.
But I feel like looking at the numbers that they put up and looking at the games that they played, I feel like they should. I feel like they're a very good team. They play well together. They have a solid defense. They have offense that could put up points. I feel like they're a team that a lot of teams should be nervous about playing, and I feel like they should be talked about a lot more.
Well, we're going to do that. We're going to talk about this game. We're going to jump right to it. Hollywood gets a blitz on Chuck and just gets the sack on Carver's first series. Carver will have to punt. Hollywood is a playmaker. That guy is dangerous, and I think he showed this week that big boys make big boy plays.
I feel like he's out there and he's playing whatever position he has to. The other week he was playing as a defensive back. He moved to the linebacker position, being the main blitz on their team, and I feel like he was effective at that position. He's showing that he's one of the leaders of this team, and here's why.
Them Gettas gets the ball back after the punt. Martinez is able to avoid the blitz by Danny and throw a nice pass here to Los. Martinez is a guy that they need to talk about. I'm not talking about Chuck Martinez. I'm talking about Martinez, the quarterback of them Gettas. Great play to move away from the blitz and still make the throw. We talked about Chuck doing this, and Martinez showing I can make plays too.
He saw the blitz coming. It was easy to avoid. He knew exactly where his player was. He was able to make a play on it, and that's something that quarterbacks need to learn from. That's something that should be routine for a quarterback getting attacked by the blitz.
Then if you look at the very next play, Martinez with a nice touchdown pass to Rudio. Rudio, if you slow it down, look at this great stutter step to catch James, a.k.a. Cable Guy, with the great stutter step move in the end zone for the touchdown. I guess we kind of sleeping now. These guys are here to play. They're not here to joke. They want to show Carver we can beat you.
It came off as Cable Guy was trying to man up on Rubio, but the thing about it is he didn't catch that stutter step until it was too late. Eventually, Rubio would get past him for that touchdown pass. A great throw by Martinez. Just a great play by them Gettas right there.
A few plays later, Chuck will get the ball back with a nice throw to Danny. Remember, Danny missed the blitz last time, and I guess he wanted to show he could make a play too with this great bomb. The only questionable call was, did Hollywood sack Chuck before the throw? And your question, in your opinion, what do you think?
I mean, it was pretty close.
In your opinion, did Chuck get sacked?
I would have to say yes. I would have to say yes. I think that Hollywood did get there on time. I think he did make that tag, and I feel like this was something that was a missed call, and I feel like this was a big play that would have been prevented had that sack been counted.
Few plays I see. The thing about Carver is when you make mistakes and you don't make plays, they make you pay for it. And right here, 2 plays later, Chuck throws his touchdown pass to Bishop to put Carver right back into the game. Great play by Chuck. Bishop is on the rise, showing he can do it on offense, playing great this year.
I mean, but one thing we got to talk about is during this play, if you see Bishop's catch, it was kind of a catch where he jumped leaning forward like he had to dive and stay in bounds. It was kind of a flashy catch, and after that play, Pams had some words for him. I mean, this is something that Pams does not like from Bishop. He feels like he needs to just go out and play his game. He doesn't need to do too much. I mean, this is something that Pam just doesn't like for his team, and I feel like he's letting Bishop know about it.
Well, that gives them, they go up 8-6. Them Gettas get the ball back, and Martinez almost throws the interception on this deep play. Got close. You can't make those type of mistakes against Carver, but he get lucky, he doesn't throw the end zone.
I mean, that was just one slip up by Martinez. Hopefully there's no more throughout this game, because that's one thing you can't afford to do, make any mistakes, because Carver Mobb is a team that capitalizes on mistakes by the opponents. So that's something that you can't afford right now.
If you look at this, Rubio is a guy that people better talk about. If you see right here, he makes a bobble catch for the first down. Great play. Rudy is showing that he is a playmaker too. He wants to win this game against Carver.
I mean, he's one of many players that they have on their team that steps up and makes plays for them. So there's a team, their offense should be talked about more. They're a team that can make things happen regardless of who touches the ball.
One of the many few times that Martinez will get caught up, but he gets caught right here side, he freezes during the play. You cannot freeze against his team. It's throw and react. That's why we always hold Chuck to a higher level. Go, make the play, throw and react. See it and then do it. And he didn't make it. He got caught right here. Bad mistake by Martinez.
I feel like on that play, I think Carver's defense kind of confused him. He didn't know what to do. He didn't know whether to take a sack, throw the ball away, or try to risk it and throw a pass. He had no idea what to do at that point, and that's what led to him freezing up on that play.
Chuck drives the ball down the field a few plays later, and he's able to complete the ball 5 next plays. That's what Chuck do. He's a maestro. Chopping up, he's a painter. This guy, he makes things happen. You know, this is a job to him. He studies crazy, he chops this team up. But then as he goes for the touchdown to his favorite receiver, cable guy, Megatron. We haven't talked about him. Nice play to stop the touchdown. Great play by Megatron.
I mean, he's a person that's a tenacious defender out there. He's one person that is a very quiet playmaker. He's one person that is not too flashy, but he's out there. He makes plays. He makes things happen. That's all that matters. If a defensive play goes under the radar, I feel like that's bad, because there's a player that you don't notice, that you don't see coming, and he's there and he surprises you with those plays.
Next play, Carver gets stopped in the red zone. That's something we didn't hear a lot about. Great stop. 8-6 halftime. Great game going so far. A lot of energy, but them Gettas are making a statement. Everybody's talking about Carver. Nobody's talking about them Gettas. Great statement in the first half.
I feel like this is a team that nobody noticed coming. This is a team that's been winning their games. They've been doing their job. And a lot of teams haven't been noticing because of how well and how quiet they've done their job. So now they need to be taken seriously. They're giving Carver Mobb a game right here.
Second half, Gettas would get the ball, but they get stopped. Now, was this roughing the passer? What do you think? Was this a roughing the passer play?
I mean, it looks like it was. It was very close, but it looks like Martinez released the ball already. The ball was already out of his hand, so it was kind of a unnecessary hit there.
Was it a roughing the passer? On your preview, look at the camera. Let's see. Audience decide. Do you think this is a roughing the passer? What do you think?
I mean, I feel the hit at that point was unnecessary, so yes.
So that's two mistakes the ref made to not make calls that always goes in Carver's favor. This is the problem. You know, like Michael Jordan, they get called for a foul. He gets sometimes phantom fouls. Sometimes when Carver's playing, the refs are intimidated, and sometimes you assume that it's one way. You don't make the calls that you're supposed to make. They already got one play where Chuck got sacked, but they didn't call it. And now this play, when it was roughing the passer, they didn't call it. Hello? You got a big game here. Refs can't make these mistakes. Cannot make mistakes. Next few plays later, as Chuck gets the ball back because Carver would stop him, Chuck throws a pass to 88. The defense fell apart at the last minute, and they're able to get the first down. You cannot make mistakes against Carver on this. Don't blame the refs. This is all them Gettas on here.
I mean, I feel like the Carver Mobb on that play was able to create enough time for them to find their receivers open. I mean, that's a hard play to keep their offense from making a play. I mean, you got to make sure that you make that tag from the ball giver, from the blitzer. You got to make sure you stop the quarterback before he gets time to throw that ball, because the defense eventually will fall apart and there will be gaps for the offense to get into and make plays.
Chuck with a great throw over Trackstar. Trackstar has been, them Gettas, one of their best man-on-man lockdown cover corners. Great throw by Chuck. He finds number 21 Brad for a great pass at the 15-yard line. Great throw by Chuck. Great catch by Brad. bad defense by Track Star.
I mean, I can't say it was bad defense. I just think that it was a great throw by Chuck. There's nothing the defender could have done. It was right over his head. A beautiful throw out of his reach. There's no better throw that you can get than that.
A few plays later, Megatron makes a great defensive play, and it was a nice blitz by Hollywood. Great blitz. That's the 1-2 punch. This team can do it together.
I feel like they play well out there. They know when to take shots at the quarterback. Megatron knows when to cover the gaps, knows where the ball is going, and they're able to make plays together like that often.
Chuck is, you can't keep him down. You know, you can do what you want. You're going to contain him, but you're not going to stop him. He's able to throw a touchdown pass to number 88. I don't know if that was Drew or if that was, I heard it was Wes, but I'm not sure. But we're going to go with Drew because that's what's on the paper. No matter what, he throws a touchdown pass to put them up 16-6. They're up 10. Great throw by Chuck. This is what he does week in, week out. Make throws.
I mean, this is one thing that is kind of, it's kind of painful for the defense because you've played a good game, you've played hard, but still Chuck still manages to find his receivers. He's still able to put up points, and it becomes frustrating after a while.
It's crazy. You can't make mistakes like that against this team. You got to make plays. And Martinez strikes right back. Whatever Chuck can do, whatever you can do, I can do. That's how Martinez had it. With a nice throw to Megatron in the corner, and a few plays later, another nice throw in the corner for the touchdown, puts them back in the game, 16-12. This team is on fire, wanting to fight them to the end.
I mean, I feel at that point, Carver Mobb kind of slipped up on that defense. They were not looking at Megatron at all. He had the gap on in the corner wide open. Those are some easy plays. I feel like just Carver Mobb just didn't look good on that defensive drive.
Chuck gets the ball back, and in the end zone, he throws a pass. It gets tipped. It gets tipped by Henry and intercepted by Megatron. They're back in the game. Chuck made a mistake. He's human.
I mean, not only is he human, but you gotta give credit to this defense. I feel like everybody's there to make a play. That was a great tip by their ball giver. I feel like it was a key moment that they needed, and I feel like he was able to make the play. And Megatron was there when the ball needed to be caught for an interception. He was ready to get it, and I feel like they're back in this game.
But the only problem is Martinez tries to force the throw to Henry. He tried to force it, and Carver's able to intercept the ball back. Cannot make these mistakes and give the ball right back to Carver.
I felt like they rushed. I feel like they didn't get their tempo down. I feel like Martinez was kind of intimidated by this team. He kind of fell apart at the seams at the end. I feel like this is something that you do not need towards the end of the game when you're ready to drive and try to take this game home.
A few plays later, Chuck is able to find Cable Guy for the touchdown. Puts them up 22-12. That touchdown hurt them, but you can't stop Chuck or Cable Guy all day. They're gonna hook up, and that's what they did on this play here.
I mean, that's one example of how they capitalize on the opponent's mistake, and this is something that them Gettas couldn't afford to make, and unfortunately they made it, and they paid for it.
Los comes in to throw after that. I don't understand why, what is the point, but he's able to make a nice pass to Megatron near the 5-yard line. Then Los is able to find Rudio for the touchdown. Well, by that time, game was already over, no more time on the clock. Carver's able to slip by them Gettas and win 22-18. Great game. Is this a good win for Carver? Or a bad win for Carver? Or a good loss by them Gettas?
I feel there's no such thing as a good loss. I feel like they had this game. They had the opportunity to take this game. And I felt like Martinez was the one who wasn't consistent enough going towards the end of the game. He fell apart, and you saw it out there with that interception right after they made a great play on defense. It's frustrating for the defense because they played a hard game, and that was a drive that they could have took the game home with, and they didn't.
You may have just saw a playoff matchup. I mean, this team is in the same division. You know, they may meet each other in the second round of the playoffs as Carver secures number 1 seed. It looks like they are because they're 4-0. Right now, them Gettas are 3-1, but them Gettas always can turn it around. It's still about five games left. We're gonna see what happens. This is a good game. This is a good game by them Gettas. Hold your head. You made mistakes, and you can say, you know what? We gave Carver this game. We was in it with them. We show we got youth. We show we got experience, and we're not scared of y'all. And they let this one slip out of their fingers, so they can hold their head high.
But I feel if they could give Carver Mobb a game like this, that they could beat any team in this league.
Yeah, I agree.
feel like this is a team that people need to talk about. This is a team that a lot of other teams should fear when they see them on the field. This is a team that should be taken seriously because they can beat any team out there if they play that way.
Listen, Trackstar, Hollywood, Megatron, those are your three. Rudio, those are guys to make plays. And when Martinez throwing, this team can make noise. They just got to stay consistent, make plays, and just keep going. Carver is going to be Carver. Pam's is going to sit down. He's going to get the team back in motion. They're 4-0. That's all they wanted to do was win games. So it doesn't matter how they do it. You know, they struggled the last 2 games, but they won both games. So how can you get mad?
Well, at the end of the day, mistakes made on a winning game, on a game that you won, is mistakes that's easily correctable. I mean, this is something that, yes, there's a lot of things that Pams probably didn't like in this game, but they're fixable because you still won that game. So eventually, he's gonna get the team together. He's gonna fix those things, and they'll be stronger next game.
I guess we're going to see what happened right now, but that's a great game. I loved it. Had a great time watching it. Carver's 4-0. A lot of people expected them to go undefeated. They slipped by the last 2 games. Them Gettas, watch out, because, wow. We're going to see what happens next week. Next up, ValleyBoys versus Black Stallions. Black Stallions is having problems. They got no wins. They were number 3 seed last year, and right now they're not looking like a team that's good. They got a lot of players. I think Mike is a main guy who needs to step up. He was an all-star last year. He was an MVP runner-up last year. You know, a candidate for an MVP last year, and right now he hasn't really showed much. ValleyBoys is basically the Wesley show. So these teams both need to get on track. Let's see what happens when they play each other. Black Stallions quarterback throws an into to number 92 on 4th down. Can't make these throws on 4th down, but the Black Stallions quarterback, unfortunately, has been doing it all year. Mistakes.
I mean, I feel like he doesn't know. It come off as he's confused out there. I mean, he's not reading the defense too well. I mean, he's not making the plays that he needs to. I don't know, maybe it's the whole offense, who knows, but they have to fix this. Things are not looking good for their offense.
Once the ValleyBoys get the ball back, nice touchdown pass to Wesley, nice catch by Wesley. Wesley made the All-Star team last year, and he's showing again why he was an All-Star last year.
He outsized this team. He is, you know, he could jump out the gym. I mean, he's one person that's hard to defend out there. He's fast, as tall as he is. I mean, he's one person he's probably one of the better receivers in this league right now, and I feel like any team will have trouble defending him, and you see why.
They're up 6-0. They go for the extra point. The 2-point conversion is intercepted by Victor, so that's going to stop them. 6-0 goals. Now, Black Stallions get the ball back. Kaz with a nice kick return all the way to the 5-yard line. Nice kick return.
I mean, I feel like this is something that their team needed. I mean, their offense wasn't moving the ball too well. This is something that the receiving team, that their special teams helped them out. This is something that they need. This is probably the spark that they need to help win this game.
Then you got another play after that. The quarterback is able to throw a touchdown pass. I don't know. I think that's Victor, number 52, makes the catch. Regardless of who it was, puts them in the game 6-6. Great drive by Black Stallions after the great kick return. Maybe this guy needs to return the ball to the 5 all the time for Black Stallions to get some points on the board.
Obviously, that's not going to happen, but it's, at the end of the day, if you make a play like that, you're going to take it. That's something that they need. Every single play that the special teams or the defense makes for this offense, I feel like they need it, and I feel like they have to play hard to get it.
Well, inconsistent on both sides. ValleyBoys end up punting. Black Stallions get the ball back. They get stopped. ValleyBoys get the ball back. They get stopped. Go at halftime 6-6. Both teams been inconsistent. Wesley's the only one to really talk about on his field. And we've basically seen it today why it's not really a lot of talent on both these teams.
I feel like no team has their own identity. I feel like they don't have their own style. They don't have, you know, there's no structure. I feel like these are all things that can be fixed throughout the season. I feel like these are things that they can, you know, put together, and I feel like they can fix this. That's all I can say.
Second half, ValleyBoys get the ball back. The quarterback, number 2, with a nice throw in the gap to Wesley. Wesley's up there, can probably be an MVP. He's holding the team down. He's doing everything for the team, and he's showing it on the field. Wow.
Well, I mean, give some credit to the quarterback. He has, he has a decent arm, and he's able to get it to Wesley. I mean, if you don't have a quarterback that can get it to your receiver, then you're not going to win, you're not going to score, you're not going to do anything. So give some credit to the quarterback.
2 plays later, quarterback is able to throw a touchdown pass to put them up 14-6. Great drive by ValleyBoys. They need this game, and they came out looking to play this game. Black Sounds, they get the ball back. Offense still struggling. Still struggling. They end up having a punt. Coach Howell got to make a decision. He got to figure out what's wrong with this team. I've been screaming out all season, you have to get Mike the ball. He's the best offensive player. You have to get Mike the ball. And it seems like maybe I'm talking to myself because they don't seem to be hearing.
I mean, at this point, can the quarterback actually get through the defense to get him the ball? That's another story entirely. And I feel like as of right now, I don't see it happening. I feel like it's at the quarterbacking position. They don't have a quarterback that's actually making plays for this team, and I feel like that's the key to this. That's the key in this league. If you do not have a quarterback that can make plays, you're not going to win games. That's all there is to it.
ValleyBoys get the ball back, but the quarterback gives the ball to number 81, Mr. Red Zone, 40 interception touchdown. Unbelievable. I don't understand what's wrong with this team. As players, they should know already. You can't give the ball to the other team, but I think the refs missed this call because we all know it's not supposed to be able to advance the ball. Once he hands it over, it's intercepted, but it's supposed to be played dead. Unfortunately, the teams missed it, refs missed it, 14-12.
But one thing that's encouraging is that Wesley wasn't even worried about that play. I mean, of course he said that he was upset with his quarterback. He should know better. But at the end of the day, he said, you know what? My team will learn. This is a mistake that they needed to make. It doesn't matter. We're still coming home with this win. So let's just move forward. That's exactly what he said.
Well, they showed it because number 2 throws a nice pass to number 9. Great play by this team. Number 2 then throws a bad pass into Wesley, and it's intercepted by Kaz. Kaz has already got a kick return to the 5. Now he has an interception. This guy is making plays for the team.
And I feel like they need him to make plays. I mean, that's all you can ask for from a defender on your team, to actually take over and make plays for your defense and give the offense a chance to put points on the board.
The quarterback for Black Science number 7 gets sacked by the quarterback number 2, and Black Science turns the ball over. Great play by this quarterback, showing that he can do things on both sides of the ball.
I mean, I felt like he was there to make up for that play where he gave up that interception by handing the ball, giving the ball, by taking the ball, giving position, and making a big play, and that's exactly what happened.
Number 2 rolled out a few plays later after getting the ball back after a nice pass to near the 15-yard line, able to roll out away from the blitz, throw a nice touchdown pass to put them up 21-12, give them a win, in and out, ValleyBoys, and now Black Stallions are 0-4. Not looking good for this team.
I feel like a lot of games last year they got bailed out because they played a lot of teams that were not as good as them. So I feel like because there's more competition in this league now, I feel like
they show who they really are.
Yes.
Which is atrocious.
There goes that word again.
They look atrocious right now. 0-4. Not really showing us nothing. Mike having a very, very, very off year. And it seems horrible. They're bad. They're real bad. I think teams are looking forward to playing them so they can increase their stats and their record. That's how bad this team is. Coach Al, you're Coach Al for a reason. You have to step it up and get some wins. Because right now, you have none. Which means 0. Which means you're not winning. So when you have a coach come to a team that made the playoffs last year, won number 3 seed, and he's coaching, and now they're 0-4. Woo! Chair's getting kind of hot. Maybe he's on that hot seat right now. I don't know. I mean, he got problems.
I mean, obviously he has problems. I mean, this team is not doing anything productive. I think they need to fix it because we're getting towards the middle of the season, and I feel like if they keep going downhill, there's no way up.
I guess we're going to see what happens next week. ValleyBoys with the win. Great game. They're trying to turn around the season. We'll see what happens next week.